Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Music and Moonsaults. I am your host, Chris Bourdine, and joining me today, live and in living color, Matt Durr is back, finally.
Yeah, and to do it in the same room together. I don't
Yes.
think we've done this since pre-pandemic. Right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, since early 2020. Yeah,
Oh,
back in the old Chris and Matt Wrestling Pod day.
at KM Wrestling Pod, I still get notifications once in a
Yeah,
while.
every once in a while. Yeah, I do too. It's kind of weird. But yeah, I mean, originally I had planned to have you on back around Mania time because it's the anniversary, like what is it, 15? Yeah,
Yep.
15-year anniversary of WrestleMania 23.
That
Yeah.
was this past March. Yep.
So, but
Or April 1st.
my office was unavailable to me at the time because my wife was working from home because she decided to break her arm, and so that didn't work out. But here we are. It's going to be July when you all are watching or listening to this, and we are at the 20-year, jeez, oh, Pete, 20-year anniversary of Vengeance 2002, an event that you were at.
I was, and this was I think the last pay-per-view I was at for a pretty long time.
Probably until Survivor Series of 05.
Yeah, I off the top of my head, I can't think of any more, and I know for a while I didn't go to any of the pay-per-view shows. So
Well, I don't even know. Trying to think. I don't even know if they ran it. I'm sure they did. They had to have.
there might have been one, but it felt like that Survivor Series in 05 was the first major show to
pay-per-view
come to
in a
Detroit
while.
for a while.
Yeah. So yeah, we're gonna watch the main event of that show, which is a triple threat for the WWE. I'll spit it out. WWE Undisputed World Title. It's Kurt Angle, it's The Rock, and it's The Undertaker. Three of the biggest stars in the history of the business.
Yeah, and going back to 1999, November 99, another triple threat title match
Yeah.
in Detroit. So,
Yeah.
and that one was supposed to have maybe the three biggest stars of the Attitude Era, but
Yeah.
going in, this felt like anyone could win this match because you could make a case for all three guys.
Yeah. Yeah. So we're gonna watch it here. I am at 2 hours, 12 minutes, and 49 seconds on the old Peacock. If you all want to fire that up, and it's Vengeance Season 2, and then obviously Episode 1. I hate the Peacock layout. It's so bad.
I said this the other day on social media. It is by far the most poorly laid out streaming service I've ever used. You can't find matches. You can't, like you said, Season 2, Episode 3 of pay-per-view makes no sense whatsoever.
But I guess that's what happens when you sell your content to a company and so your stuff is on an app with a bunch of other TV shows.
Right.
And they, since everything else is by season,
We'll do it like this.
so is wrestling, right? Anyways.
There is no off season in professional
That's
wrestling,
right.
Chris. I don't know if you forgot this.
Exactly. So I don't. This doesn't make any sense. So yeah. And then we're gonna press play here, and 3, 2, 1, play. And there's a good shot. There's The Rock coming out first. That's different.
Yeah. So not to jump right into my experience, but this was the first time I ever realized you could see what we now know as the gorilla position from the top corner of the Joe Louis Arena.
Mm-hmm.
So before the match, as they're showing the preview video, hyping the main event, we could actually see Kurt, Undertaker, and Rock chit-chatting, and then Undertaker goes to his motorcycle. And This was the first time, because this was 2002,
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't huge into the internet scene. I knew of dirt sheets, but I didn't know what the gorilla position was at this time. And then to realize, oh man, they gather right there before the match and kind of say, good luck out there.
Yeah.
It was kind of I remember being super psyched about being able to see that and share that with people.
There you go. And here comes the Olympic gold medalist, Kurt Angle. He's newly bald within the last couple months here. So.
and returning to the place where he had his first pay-per-view
Yeah.
match.
Yep. In the aforementioned Survivor Series 99. So
I think that was Sean Stasiak.
yeah, I think it was.
I'm pretty sure it's Sean Stasiak. I distinctly remember him stopping the match
Yeah.
to get on the mic and yell at people.
Yeah. And The Undertaker. Dead man walking. So this is after, I guess he's a heel here, right?
Sure.
I know he was earlier this year. I don't know if he still is. Yeah. This whole era is a little... This is like my last... Where I'm on my last sabbatical from wrestling at this point. I fell out like right after the draft and didn't come back until the last Raw of 2003. I just happened to turn on, and it was the Shawn Michaels Triple H match. The really good one on Raw from the end of 2003. And that's when I'm like, oh, Shawn Michaels is back wrestling? I guess I got to watch this now.
And we were working together at this
Yeah.
point and knew each other and had no idea. I had no idea you were like that much of a wrestling fan in the past.
So this is like just a couple months before we met.
No, we'd already met by this point.
Had we?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I moved to the area in the summer of 2002.
Right. I guess I didn't remember. I guess I thought it was more towards the fall when we actually...
You know what? You're right. You're absolutely right now that I think about it.
All right.
And, you say that. This is, before we, hit record, I was telling you, this is about the time where I really started to question how much I enjoyed WWE's product.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of funny that 6 months time, it kind of changed.
All three men just kind of talking trash to each other here. And a lot of all the cameramen are still wearing the Get the F Out shirts because we're shortly after the World Wrestling Federation turned to World Wrestling Entertainment.
And I remember this DVD was impossible to get. You had to order it directly off of the WWE shop because they were still going through that whole process of changing the logos on everything. If you remember, there's I think it's the WrestleMania X8 DVD I think it's the last one that has the WWF logo all over it.
Okay.
And shortly after that, they stopped putting all the major shows on DVD through like Sam Goody and places like that. You had to order it online.
Right. Okay. Interesting. So another reason why I wanted to watch this match, other than the fact that it's the anniversary and you were there, this is obviously at the old Joe Louis Arena. And as we're recording this, we're a few days away of going to watch AEW at the new Little Caesar. Well, I guess it's not new, and it's 5 years old already.
Is it really?
Yeah, well, because I was just going to say, the first thing we saw there was Hell in a Cell in 2017.
Oh, my gosh. That's
Well, dude, I've been married 5 years this November already.
No, I don't buy that at all. I was there. There's no way that was 5 years ago.
Yeah, it was. And, yeah, so when I went to a SmackDown after that you didn't go to, but this will be our second time watching wrestling at LCA, and it's just I just love whenever I turn on an old wrestling show that at LCA it's or at Joe Louis, it's just like I don't know, I get that real strong sense of nostalgia.
Yeah.
And even if it's a show like a Raw or something where I didn't necessarily know that it took place at Joe Louis, as soon as the show starts, oh, that's Joe Louis Arena. Yeah. Like it's very, and I don't know if that's so much because I mean I guess Rosemont's like that.
Yeah,
Allstate Arena's like that, but so I don't know if it's just because we're that's our arena or if it's really that recognizable to people. But
I think to me, you can see what always triggers it to me is the yellow paint on the steps.
yeah.
And then the white guardrails in the background. You can kind of see it
Mhm.
here. And the white, it almost looks like boards of a hockey arena going around. And that was always my indicator. You could almost smell the stale peanuts and urine
Yes.
coming through the screen because that's what Joe Louis Arena smelled like.
Yes. I mean, and then in later years it got a little bit more because they painted all that white into like red with Red Wing logos all over the place. So it was a little more easier to kind of pick out. And this is like a month after they won the cup.
Yeah. I don't even think it was a month. This was probably 10 days. 10, 12 days.
No, because this is like late July.
Oh, okay.
So, and that was like early June.
In my head, we're watching it live. See, this is why you don't bring me into the studio. I'm just a mistake machine live.
That's all right. That's all right. I got you. A lot of memories in that place, though. I miss that place.
You know, it's you mentioned being at Little Caesars Arena for Hell in the Cell. That one trip was enough for me to realize I'll never sit in the upper bowl at that venue.
Especially on the sides. If you're on the ends, it's not so bad. But if you are on the sides and you're like, especially if you go, more than halfway up, the way that like I don't know if it's the press boxes or what, but something hangs down and it's like impossible. Like you can't see the screen.
Yeah, you can't see the big screen above the ring.
Yeah. And then like they do have screens up there, but they're all like behind. Yeah. And it's just it was not a good experience. And I'm the same way. Especially if I'm going to a wrestling show, I'm not sitting up there.
But I can tell you I covered a UFC show there and I was right at the cage side. So you're in the center of it. When you're low like that, I can understand why people talk about how it's a great venue for shows. Oh, the sound, they did an incredible job with their acoustics in there, and if you're in the middle of it, it sounds incredible. Obviously, you're gonna have great sight lines, but anything out of the lower bowl, it just seems like a really bad experience.
And the Joe, there wasn't a bad seat in that building. Everything was. Even if you were in the very last row of the place, like it still was a decent seat.
Yep. I mean, you and I sat pretty much at the very top of the arena when Shane returned at the Joe. Yeah. And I have very vivid memories and can remember details of seeing the ring.
Oh yeah.
Because it wasn't like you said, it's not a bad seat at all.
Yeah. For sure.
They're doing a really good job in this match of keeping Kurt out of it in a somewhat realistic fashion, too.
Yeah, because it looks like, especially, the little exchange between the three of them before the match really got underway, it looks, without watching the TV leading into this, it seems like the story is like Rock and Undertaker are kind of like focused on each other and not really taking Angle seriously. Yeah. Even though he's Kurt Angle. But, to be fair, he just lost a feud with Edge not too long before this. Yep. So.
And I think that's part of what made Kurt Angle always so interesting is you knew on the surface he was an incredible wrestler, but they always found ways to make him vulnerable. Because if we're being honest, Taker probably hold his own, but do you really think Kurt Angle is going to struggle to take a guy like The Rock out? Probably not. So
I think he could make pretty quick work out of The Undertaker too if he really wanted to. Yeah. And now we're in the spot in the match where everyone's doing each other's moves. That's kind of funny.
Just spamming finishers.
Yes.
But it's the new generation that's the problem, right?
Yeah, exactly. But they're spamming each other's finishers. See, that's where the difference lies.
Sure. Just wait. Rock's going to hit like 3 more rock bottoms in this match. I remember this was, before big match John and now Roman to an extent, this was the guy that always I could not get over how he always found a way to overcome the odds.
Mm-hmm.
And it like, this is the first baby face that I remember truly just despising for just because he always won.
Yeah. Yeah, it's weird. So so spoiler alert. There's a late. It's funny, we were talking about during that when we watched the Triple H in ring segment before we clicked record, and we were joking about, they alluded to DX, and it was, we were like, oh, there's a lady dressed like China, like in the first couple rows.
Oh, I didn't even notice
that.
Yeah.
I don't even know what I was gonna say now, but yeah, that's kind of funny.
Detroit's always had a reputation of people dressing up in the crowd. Remember that's Dave I forget his gimmick name, but the guy who dressed up like Hogan all the time.
Oh yeah,
he's front row at Survivor Series 91.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's the Macho Man guy.
Yeah, well, you yelled at me when I said I wanted to go as Macho for this AEW show, but I'm just trying to keep the tradition alive in our.
I'm sure he'll
area.
be there, so I don't think we got to worry about it. I mean, shoot, trim the beard a little bit. You could be Adam Cole.
I could. I've got the. If I put the right product in my hair, I can get that slick back look, no problem.
There you go.
And I've got the belly too, because apparently that's a big problem for him.
Yeah, exactly. But now I know it. So next month, Robert O'Neill's back on, and we watch Rock Brock from SummerSlam.
Excellent.
And it's interesting. Like, this Detroit crowd still seems pretty into The Rock, and then a month later, granted it's Long Island to be specific, but they have completely turned on him. A Matt Sundin jersey. How about that?
Is that? Oh no, it's not. Okay. There was a guy who used to go to all sorts of shows in the area, and he wore a Peter Forsberg, or no, it was a Joe Sakic Quebec Nordiques jersey.
Oh, okay, all right.
And I was always low-key really jealous of him because those jerseys were, like, so pristine.
Yeah, those Nordic jerseys are pretty good.
Yeah, I going back to your point about Rock and Brock, I feel like this was the time where a lot of fans were turning on Dwayne, partially about what I was saying. He wasn't around all the time, and when he did, he always came in and eventually took out whoever had been kind of running the place while he was off making his latest movie.
Yeah. Oh, and Angle's busted open. Oh. Big leg drop from Undertaker on the apron. The apron's the hardest part of the ring.
Really?
Yeah, that's what I heard.
I had not heard that.
Yeah. Yeah, Angle's really... There's some pools of blood there on the...
Was that from him hitting the ring post?
I'm guessing so.
Because I feel like this is the time where they weren't allowing, like, blood wasn't...
Yeah, I don't think it's till a few years after this when they start, like...
Really? Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, because, like... No, yeah, it's a few years later, because, like... Survivor Series 03, like, Sean, like...
Yeah.
bleeds buckets.
Royal Rumble that year.
Royal Rumble 04. Sean bleeds buckets.
Yeah.
He may have been the reason. They're like, we can't do this anymore.
Yeah, it either him or Eddie at Judgment Day with JBL.
Yeah, that was a bad one too.
That's the stuff that was missing from him when he came back for the feud with Cena.
Yeah.
He had been gone for so long, you could tell he didn't feel that the character the way he is at this point.
Mm-hmm. And then when he comes back at the beginning of 03, we get Hollywood Rock.
Yeah.
That's some good stuff.
I mean, arguably that's his best run after he left to go to Hollywood.
Yeah, for sure. Oh yeah, it's for sure his best run after he starts doing movies. For sure.
And I can't think of a single match from that era that I'm like, that's a great contest. It's all his character work after that.
Right in the ding ding. I don't know why we did a ref bump in a triple threat match, unless that was an accident.
No.
Oh my god.
Good God.
Oh.
I saw an interview with Ken Shamrock the other day.
Real quick, Rock always got up so good for the angle slam.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, go on.
Well, earlier in the match, I'll get to my point, but earlier in the match, I was thinking, each of these combinations of guys, Rock and Undertaker, have had really good matches. Rock and Angle at No Way Out show we reviewed.
Yes.
Fantastic contest.
Mm-hmm.
And then Kurt Angle and Undertaker, is it No Way Out 05?
06.
Yeah, okay. I mean, that might be, aside from his matches with Shawn, Undertaker's best wrestling match in the WWE.
Mm-hmm.
So, to your point earlier about the amount of talent in this match, these guys are having a really good triple threat with just great history between them as well.
Yeah.
To my point, though, about that chair shot, I saw something the other day. It was an interview with Ken Shamrock talking about the infamous one where The Rock just lambasts him with that chair. Rock didn't want to do that, apparently, and Shamrock was like, "You better hit me." He called for it. He wanted it. Man, if Rock didn't bring it on that one.
Right. There's an LOP sign. Rock might be going for a last ride here. Yep.
What a move.
Mm-hmm. I always liked how Taker did his covers like that, too, where he grabbed the wrist.
You're right. When you hear guys like Christian and Shawn Michaels talk about the details, those are the things that always stand out.
Yes. Will the Undertaker tap out to the ankle lock? Yeah.
Never understood that bump.
Yeah, I like Biker Taker, but once he cuts his hair, I'm like, that's when I'm out on it. I'm like, Undertaker can't have short hair. That's why I didn't like, aside from the fact that the matches like drastically dropped in quality, when he had the mohawk there for like 3 years, I'm like, yeah, this sucks.
Yeah. And it's such a stupid thing to complain about, but
it is. But it's one. It's like, I don't know. Especially these characters. I mean, especially Undertaker, who, I mean, at this point he had been around for 10 years.
Yep.
You're used to seeing these guys a certain way, and it's like,
I mean, Triple H. When I think of Triple H, I don't think of the bald.
No.
It's this era. You
Yeah.
know, maybe a year before this is when I picture him in my mind. It just. But I get it too. You got to change up your look.
Yeah.
And I mean, you and I talk off air all the time about Jericho, and he has changed his look so many times.
Yeah.
And it's part of what makes him such an iconic performer. So.
Yeah. Ooh, nice counter.
Do you think, and I'm just thinking about this, watching it now, if you took someone who had no idea who Dwayne Johnson was, which would be impossible.
Yeah.
But if you found someone who had no idea who he was and put pictures of him now next to the gentleman that's in this match, do you think they'd believe that they're the same person? Because he looks nothing like this.
Yeah, I don't know. That's a tough one. Rock bottom. Rock bottom. Yeah, I know. Yeah, he looks... Scrawny's not the right word, but he definitely is not as filled out here as he is now. Like, he is, like, as big as this room we're sitting in now.
Right.
Which is so funny because his build weight has always been 270. Like, even when he came back against Cena, like, it was still... I'm like, there's no way he's still 270.
If he's 270 right here, like, there's no...
Yeah.
Yeah, if he's 270 here, there's no way he's not 3 builds.
Yeah.
Right now.
Yeah. And then even his leg, like, he does...
So scrawny. Scrawny's the right word for his legs.
Now, though, like, the pictures he posts on Instagram, like, they're tree trunks.
Yeah.
Rock bottom. Oh. Undertaker's just too late to break up the pin. We have a new WWE champion.
So I forgot the finish was that close.
Yeah.
That's really well done, actually.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like more triple threats should end that way, where it's not so clear, oh, this guy's out for the rest of the match, and whoever hits their move next is going to win.
Yeah, for sure. A lot of people really like that belt. I do not like that belt at all.
It's ugly as sin.
Right?
It doesn't look like a championship belt at all.
I never have liked that one. But a lot of people, I guess maybe it's because if you grew up in the, if ruthless aggression is your era, I guess. I guess that makes sense. But yeah, I've never thought that was a good belt.
I'm not a huge fan of the gigantic face plates.
Yeah.
I know I'll probably get killed for the big gold. Everyone loves big gold. I think it's a gorgeous belt. I don't like how big the centerpiece is.
See, my issue with this belt is I don't like the dimensions of it. Like, I like big gold is more like, I don't like how like it's like elongated this side to side and not so much top to bottom, whereas big gold's like just like the perfect proportion, I think, all the way around. Same thing with the Winged Eagle is like, it's
that is the for me. There's no better world championship than the Winged Eagle. Yeah, I mean, even today the AEW championship, I'm not a huge fan of how big it looks.
Yeah. But
this was I don't think I've seen this match in I couldn't even put a time frame on it. It's been a really long time since I think I've seen this match.
It's one, I think I think it's on one of Rock's DVDs. So I knew I saw it there, but yeah, it's not one I've watched recently either. So that's another reason why. And it's quite quite highly thought of. Let's see, there we go. Got a, what does that say, 8.83 on Cage Match.
Wow.
So
I thought it was a solid match. I didn't think it was that, like, I wouldn't think people would think it's that great.
Meltzer gave it 4.5.
Wow.
So yeah,
I think I've always felt a little anger toward that match, just because I didn't want Rock to win. I mean, when the 3 count hits, like I remember my buddies and we immediately started walking out. We didn't stay to watch the celebration, and
right.
Just sour taste in my mouth after that match.
Kind of like WrestleMania 23.
Yeah, where I swore off wrestling for several months because of it. What the kicker on this whole thing was, they have the T-shirt cannons, right?
Uh-huh.
Ran out to go get a drink, grab a little soda. I'm walking back into the section, and I feel something fly by my face, and I hear people yelling, "Go, go, go!" And I turn around and look, and on the ground is a T-shirt. I don't know what's in the T-shirt. I run over and grab it, and other people see that I picked it up. Oh man! Wrap the tape off of it, open it up, and it's finally The Rock has come back to Detroit. So the one time I catch a T-shirt, it's for a guy that I like. I was absolutely over at that point.
See, and I mean, A, I like The Rock, and B, I'm a mark for those city specific shirts. So, yeah, that would have been right up my alley. But well.
Sorry.
What do you do? So, and that was. Yeah, I thought so. It's not even 20 minutes, that match. So
I think that makes sense, too, in a triple threat. You got 3 top athletes in there. You don't need to drag it out. And clearly they knew where they were going the next month. So you're not doing long-term storytelling or anything here. Just get the belt on Dwayne and let's get moving to SummerSlam.
Awesome. Well, thank you, sir, for... coming over and felt like the good old days, just us watching wrestling together.
It's amazing what a wife and kids do to your time to sit back and watch pro wrestling.
No kidding.
No, I appreciate you inviting me over and kind of making me think a little bit about this card. I didn't know if we were just doing the one match or not, so I started like thinking back. What do I remember about that day and that show? And it was good to go down.
Yeah, I watched a little bit of it, the show itself yesterday, and just to just so it's easier to find, get to the match when I'm ready, but like the opener is pretty good. The tables match, Noble and Billy Kidman's really good. You mentioned Cena's pay-per-view debut against Jericho. That's a pretty good match. Rob Van Dam versus Lesnar is a really good match. And then that match there.
I remember, because I was thinking about this, seeing Lesnar in person for the first time. You've got your figures behind you. Seeing him in the ring next to Rob Van Dam was like if you took one of those Jakks Pacific figures and put it next to the Hasbro. He just looked so much bigger, and I just remember thinking like that is a monster. If they put the title on him, who's ever gonna beat him?
Right.
Sure enough, they did it, and they pulled the old manager screw job out of the bag of tricks. But seeing Brock for that first time was just mind-blowing to me. And I remember feeling that when he returned at the Raw when he came out at the Raw we were at, and just seeing him in person, he just towers over John Cena of all people.
Yeah. So, all right, guys, you want to plug anything, Matt?
Oh, no, I have no podcast anymore. No one wants to read my Twitter feed, so...
Well, there you go. You can find me on Twitter at IbenazChris. I'm on there all the time. Way too much, but whatever. It is what it is. Check out my hurdle scores. That's the most important thing. Hurdle scores and posts about my kid. That's pretty much the most the best stuff on my Twitter. So
I mean, you can argue with people about Adam Cole's body type, or
it's better just not to engage those people. Just unless they say like something like every once in a while you'll see something so dumb that like it's like, all right, I can't.
Like every third tweet.
No. You got to be a lot more selective about it. Like it has to be like the dumbest of the dumb, and you're like, what are you even talking about?
Fair enough.
But mostly, I just let people get their ignorant takes off and just.
Well, I'll keep following for pictures of the kid.
There you go.
And I know you're on a heck of a hurdle streak.
I am.
So,
as we're recording this, I'm on fire. They've actually. I went through a while there where it was tough. It was a lot of stuff I had no idea what it was. Because it was all like stuff in the last 5 years. I'm like, I don't listen to new music.
There was when I was still playing it, I got a Megan Thee Stallion song correct on like the third note. And I was like, all right, I'm not so old that life has passed me by, but
I just choose to be like, new music sucks. I am definitely that guy.
Fair enough.
I am definitely it used to be better guy when it comes to music. That I will own that. So, all right, everyone. Until next time, see ya.